Hello, and welcome to our assignment for the week. This is going to be fairly straightforward. We're going to use Publisher to create a book. And so what we're going to do first is set up Publisher to be in a booklet form. What we want to do is go to the Page Design ribbon, to Orientation, and then, this size, and then to Page Setup. And we're going to go to a booklet. This is going to be an 8.5 by 5.5, and that's pretty much what we want to use. So basically, instead of the multiple pages per sheet that we were using, we're just going to booklet. And so, going to hit OK there. It's going to ask you now if you want to automatically insert pages, because the way a book works, you can't just have one page. You need to have blank pages inserted in there. So we're going to go ahead and click yes. It's going to automatically insert 3 pages here, and it's going to have the correct margins and everything. So now you can see that it's got a couple of joined pages here. Page 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So that's going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to have a title page and then some other pages here. So what we're going to use for our book text is we're going to get some Lorum Ipsum. So you'll go to www.lipsum.com, and you can read all about this. This is basically generated dummy text, except we're going to get let's get 150 paragraphs. I mean, you can get however many you want, but that'll be a good number. Going to generate, and then so this is basically what we're going to take to make our book. You can see there's quite a bit of it there. Just random non-readable text. The first part is kind of the famous line. It's Lorum Ipsum dolor sit amet, and then it goes on to be complete gibberish after that. Actually, most of this is from a form of Latin that they used for this, but it doesn't make any sense. So that's going to be our start. We're going to actually call this, put this in the title page up here. So we're going to go here and insert text box, because you guys remember that you can't type without a text box in Publisher. I'm just going to put Lorum Ipsum in there, and then that will become.
Thank you.
Just going to put Lorum Ipsum in here, and that will become our title. And let's change this to a nice font. I'm going to use, I think, I'm quite fond of this Rockwell. I think we've used that before. And center that. So to center this, I'm going to make the text box snap to those width grids, and we're going to use this to center it. And then let's insert another text box down here. And then we'll copy this section of text there. And let's make that into a nice script. There we go. Get that so it's all showing. And we can put the author on here. We'll put written by artificial intelligence. This is going to go back. I'm going to drop this back down to the Rockwell. Oh my. I think I need to zoom in because I can't spell. Do that down here. There we go. And you can decorate your front cover however you'd like, but I'd like to see these three objects on them. And then we're going to go into the front of the book, and we're not going to do anything with the forward or anything, so let's go ahead and start with our text. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a text box here. I'm going to go ahead and format this. Let's see, what do we have? This CO or CGO UI is a pretty good one. Let's make it a nice 11-point font. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to copy and paste this whole stretch of document. So I just selected at the top of it, and I'm now dragging my mouse down across the bottom of the screen until we got all the text selected. Okay. And then I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go here, I'm going to dump that. Okay, now I briefly mentioned this in the video last week. You can see that it's filling up the whole text box and then dumping over, but it does store all that text here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to dump this into the next text box. So I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to actually undo that. And so instead of pasting it into this box here, because that is going to overflow and it's going to connect, but it'll be a little bit easier to do it a little bit different way. So I'm actually going to delete that box now, and then go ahead and open Notepad. It's a program on your computer that's just a simple text editor. I'm just going to hit the start key and then type in Notepad. You'll want Notepad. That should open up a program like this. I'm going to go ahead and just paste this in here, and then I'm going to go File, and then Save As. Let me back up just in case you didn't catch that. We went to the Start menu, and then typed in Notepad, and that'll bring up the Notepad program, which is just really a text editor with no fancy anythings with it. And then I just pasted it in here, and I'm going to save as, and we'll call this Ipsum.txt. And save that. I'm just going to put it on my desktop for now. And then we're going to go over to Publisher here. Now, this thing is pretty cool. I'm going to go to the Insert ribbon, and then I'm going to go to Insert File. Now what I can do here is I can actually click on a text file. It'll pull up a bunch of different files. You can insert a Word document here, which might be a more normal way to do it. Would be to format this all in Word and then insert it here. But we're just going to do a text document because we really don't have any formatting preferences. And I'm just going to hit OK. And this is going to go through and do a bunch of work. Now it'll take it just a second, and you'll see in a minute why it is taking it just a second to run. Okay, you'll see why it just took it a second to run is it just created, well, up to page 44, I think I had 4 pages created. So it just created 40 extra pages and put a bunch of text in there. Now it's pulling up an original text box here. I'm just going to resize this a little bit. And you'll see as I resize this first text box, it's going to pull in text from this next page. So then you can see here that it's created this booklet with all of these pages automatically. and then it's got this end page here. Now it doesn't always pull up the end page. Sometimes you have to insert new page. The nice thing about insert new page when you're working in a booklet form is it'll automatically figure out how many pages you need. And if you try to put in the wrong number, let's say I wanted to add 3 pages to this, and I hit OK, it's going to pop in and say it prints in groups of 4. So you really need 4 pages. So do you want to add 4 pages, or do you really want to just add 3? So see how that messed that up. And I'm just going to Control Z to undo. Then you can just go ahead, and you can see now we've got all this stuff here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in a nice back page. This will actually be the back of the book, because this is the last paragraph there. And let's say, oh, we've got an extra text box here. This is part of the text flow in Publisher, so let me show you that real quick. I'm going to go to one of the middle pages here. Now if I click in this, you'll see how it has 2 arrows on it. It's got 1 arrow pointing to the left and 1 arrow down here pointing to the right. Now if I click on this one, it's going to take me to the previous one. So see how it changed which page I was on? I can now go back by clicking this, and this basically is a way to navigate through connected text boxes. So you can write articles and all kinds of stuff in here and just have these text boxes like this. Now you'll also notice that now that we've connected these text boxes that there's no red dots anymore, which you should have remembered seeing. So anyway, let's just put the end here. And let's make that rock wool nice and big. And that's basically how you do a book in Publisher. Nice and easy. You can add some design to that if you want to. It'd be fairly easy to use like a color scheme or something. Although we're not actually using any colors in here. But you can see, Publisher has a nice selection of color schemes. So if you wanted to use that color, obviously, then you just highlight it, and then from the home menu, give it a color from the scheme colors. So if I'm going to change it to like Metro, you'll see how these colors change. They're down the automatics. Okay, and I think that's pretty much this assignment. Cue outtake music.